much better.
Welcome to Sass Daily Podcast. Without you guys, this wouldn't be possible. And thank you guys for subscribing. Back again is co-hosting is Tracy from Indoor Places, and now he's from Sass Daily Podcast as well. How are you doing tonight, man?
Doing good, man. I've been killing time waiting on this one to start.
Yeah, and you got your research, didn't you?
I did. I did.
And speaking of, we're blessed enough to have an amazing guest. Somebody canceled on us, and this guy right
Stepped
away.
up.
Yeah, sorry, man. And he is the amazing Grant Johnson. How are you doing tonight, man?
I'm doing pretty good. How are you guys doing tonight?
We're doing great. Doing
And
great.
I know you're gonna perform for us right now, and tell the people what song you're going to record. And me and Tracy will put ourselves on mute because nobody wants to hear us, right? When you say.
Well, I thought I might do a Johnny Cash song to kind of, it's all classic country for me. A friend of mine and I started doing some writing, but 99.9% of what I do is classic country. So, one of his first biggest hits and most popular songs is probably the one to do on a podcast would be Folsom Prison.
Nice.
That's all right with you?
Absolutely.
I hear the train a-comin', it's a-rollin' around the bend, and I ain't seen the sunshine since I don't know when. I'm stuck in full prison, and time keeps dragging on. But that train keeps a-rollin' on down to San Antonio. When I was just a baby, my mama told me, son, oh, be a good boy, don't ever play with guns. But I shot a man in Reno just to watch him die. When I hear that whistle blowing, I hang my head and cry. Well, I bet there's rich folks eating in a fancy dining car. They're probably drinking coffee and smoking big cigars, but I know I had it coming. I know I can't be free. But those people keep moving, and that's what tortures me. Well, if they freed me from this prison, if that railroad train was mine, I bet I'd move it on a little farther down the line, far from Folsom Prison. That's where I want to stay. And I'd let that lonesome whistle blow my blues away.
Wow.
Very
Man.
nice. Very
Man,
nice.
That was an absolute great performance, and we're definitely honored to hear that. I appreciate you doing that, man, and I love your show. And speaking of your show, how did you come up with that show? And tell the people what letter you're on now and stuff.
Well, I started because I used to do concerts in senior living center where my mom lives. And then when COVID hit, of course, everything shuts down and you can't do anything. And so I started it not too long after COVID started. And then I'd record these and put them out on Facebook and put them out on YouTube. And then at the senior center, they can play them back. And so, and without having knowing not knowing how long it was going to go on, I just figured, well, I'll just start with A and go A to Z in classic country. And that's kind of the music that I've got. I mean, I started collecting this stuff, pretty much when the internet started in the 90s, and you could find this stuff out there. You could find the chords and lyrics. That's what it was all about. I knew the melody, but I didn't have all the lyrics memorized, and I certainly didn't know all the chords. So you can find it all out there, but it's about maybe 90% right. So you still got to go through it, and there's a couple lyrics will be wrong, or some chording will be wrong. You got to clean up and work with your ear, or if you don't have the sheet music. But it's all there. So I just started it started with A to Z and by the artist's first name back in April of 2020. And here we are, August now of 2021, and I'm letter J. So we're gonna be at this a while.
What day of the week does that come out?
It's every Sunday night, 7 o'clock Central Time, 8 Eastern.
And the Facebook page will be in the description. And actually, just so people know, man, I actually found you on YouTube. That's how I first found your music. I found your live stream on YouTube, and I was like, I gotta get this guy on the podcast, man. I was like telling Tracy, and I mean, I do a lot of looking people up that sing country music and stuff, man. And you definitely are one of the most talented people up here.
Oh, thank you. That's awful nice of you.
Yeah, Seth turned me on to you about 3 days ago, and he was like, dude, you got to check this guy out. He said, we got to have him. So it's kind of worked out. But when you started from A and you're in J, so just like you're on Johnny Cash now, but did you ever, after getting that far, go, oh, crap, I forgot about Jim Reeves? Have you forgot any and had to go back?
Yeah, he would actually be maybe the wrong example, because I had about 4 or 5 weeks of Jim Reeves. So Jim Reeves and Don Williams are kind of my two go-to guys, always have been. If I'm just going to sit down and play something to chill out, and those are the two guys, Don Williams and Jim Reeves. Mostly, I suppose, for their singing style as anything else. Right. But yeah, no, the thing is, I had a lot of these songs already kind of saved I just use Google Docs basically. And I had a lot of these saved that I'd found on the internet and put into my key, and found a site that's easy to transfer stuff in my key for you. But I got started in this concert series and realized I kind of a tip of the iceberg thing. I thought I had a bunch. I mean, I had like 600 songs, and then realized, well, no, there's a whole lot more than that that you know that you're going to want to sing. So, yeah. And the best example of that was probably Bill Anderson. Man, I had no idea how many songs that guy wrote over because he's been at it so long, So, yeah, we were on Bill Anderson a whole lot longer than I thought I was going to be.
Yeah, and there's no doubt. I mean, Whisper and Bill Anderson has wrote many more hits than he ever sung, I believe.
Yeah.
My luck, I would get almost to Z and forget, like, oh man, I skipped somebody in A.
Who's been the most difficult, like the variety of songs? Like, which one has been the most like the artist that you have done his songs, which one has been the hardest to like find on the internet, or the one that's been the hardest to like sing?
One of the trickier ones to say, it's another one of my favorites, was Hank Snow, partly because there's a lot of his songs got a lot of words and a lot of speed, and like I've Been Everywhere. Yeah. That took a while. I mean, I had to practice that guy, and the deal is, because I'm moving from artist to artist, or I'm moving week. I sit down on Mondays and try and put the set list together. Hopefully I finish that by Monday night. But sometimes I don't get a Tuesday morning practice, and it's in the mornings, Tuesday morning, Wednesday morning, whatever. So I get, maybe 4 or 5 practices in before the show. That's it. And it's different songs every week. There's no repeats. So otherwise I'd never get through this. So, it's 20 songs pretty much roughly every show. And there are 20 different songs from week to week to week to week. So we get a song like Hank Snow's I've Been Everywhere, and a week is not really enough time to get all those words.
Not at all. You can't even remember all them places in a week.
Yeah, well, so here's the other thing. I pull this, I got an iPad here for the music. I don't memorize a whole lot. I mean, there's just too much to learn in too little time.
Sure.
So even tonight, to sit down and do Folsom Prison, which I did, I don't know, I suppose that's about 3-4 weeks ago now. And I'll do another one later, but that I haven't done for quite a while. But so I'll have the music up on a screen here, because it's just, for me, too much to memorize.
When Seth asked the difficulty of one, the first thing that came to mind was Leroy Van Dyke and The Auctioneer.
Oh yeah, so I haven't got there yet, because I'm not in the L's, right? So right. I can't even weigh in on that yet.
That is going to be tough.
Yeah.
Although, me and Tracy, I got it. I got to watch that.
Yeah, I already got it. I got it in the library right here, because I pulled it from before. It's a great song, but got to start to really twist in your tongue. And, he was a trained auctioneer.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. That's basically,
Yeah, so-
that song is about his life pretty much.
Yeah. So for him to do that song, man, no big deal.
Yeah, natural. It's like just a
Right.
yodeling,
Well, and I did sort of the filling that through the Jimmy Rogers collection. We had
Yeah.
quite a bit of yodeling in Jimmy Rogers.
Yeah,
So,
absolutely.
Yeah. And a little
So-
in Hank Sr., a little bit kind of at least note breaking Hank Sr.
Tracy,
Yeah,
I know you. Oh, I didn't mean to cut
Oh,
in.
go ahead. You're good.
Tracy, I know. What was you gonna say, Grant? I'm sorry.
No, I just said Hank Williams Sr. was another place where you kind of break. It isn't a full yodel, but you're kind of breaking notes
Right.
every once in a while.
And yeah, man, that Hank Williams Sr. definitely is probably hard to do, man. And what you have done is absolutely pretty cool, man. And me and Tracy are definitely gonna share your show every time you do it, and we're definitely gonna watch it because I watched the other day, man. Watched a little bit of it last night after I got out of the swimming pool, man, and it was amazing. But I know Tracy has did some research, and I know he's absolutely wanting to request a song. So Tracy, if you want to tell us about that song that you want to request.
Well, it's just, I traveled, for 25 years for my job, and I was, my best friend for 25 years was basically the radio. So
Right.
I have heard just about probably every song that's ever been out there over the years. But my favorite genre is classic country. And I mean, we're talking, the old Bucko and stuff. And we're talking, Jimmy Rogers and, Don Williams. I grew up pretty much in the 70s. So that urban cowboy stuff, but even to go farther back than that, one of my favorite singers in the whole world is Ray Price. And I love everything that he's ever done. And I've always been a big Ray Price fan.
All right. Well, I got to tell you. So I haven't got to Ray Price yet, but I do have some of his stuff already. And, it's kind of one of those things that as I go through this and I look at, like, I get to Ray Price and I got about 3 or 4 Ray Price songs, which means I'm short about 50, right? So,
For sure. Yeah.
So when I get there, there'll be a lot more collecting going on before I put that whole collection together. But I do have one here that I can do that you probably remember called Please Release Me.
Oh, absolutely.
Please release me, let me go, for I don't love you anymore. To waste our lives would be a sin. Release me and let me again. Well, I have found a new love, dear, and I will always want her near. Her lips are warm while yours are cold. Release me, my darling, let me go. Please release me, can't you see? You'd be a fool to cling to me, to live a lie would bring us pain. So release me and let me love again. Yes, please release me and let me love again.
That puts a smile on my face, man. I like that type singer, Ray Price, Jim Reeves, And I always think that that transition of that time where we were getting more into the, I guess you could say, the honky tonk type country songs versus the croner type country songs.
Oh,
And
yeah.
that's that transition in that era right there. And that's just, those songs there kept me up as I was working late nights. I may be 1,000 miles from home working, and that stuff's the kind of stuff that kept me up at night.
Well, and so, big influence on me in this whole thing is my dad, who was truck driver for 30 years. And, he was rigging up, this is back, in the days he would rig up these radios. He'd buy basically a dash system, and then he put it in a wooden box with two speakers on it. And the mounting system on the dash of the cab and antennas to clip outside. And,
that made it all portable. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. Because you weren't getting the same, in his case, you weren't getting the same cab every shift. So he had to bring his own radio.
That's right. And, back then, before, all this XM and stuff, AM was it. I mean, you could listen to an AM station for 300 miles, where FM, you were 50 miles and you lost that station. But AM, and a lot of the AM stations played country classic music, versus, and to me, this is definitely the stepping stones for the stuff, that became huge in the 70s and 80s and 90s. I don't know, I don't want to knock the country music today too bad, but it's just not. It's Hollywood cookie cutter stuff.
It's just not good.
No, it's really not. And all I hear is about how big their trucks are and how drunk they want to get. And that, I mean, that's just not me,
So you gotta look hard to find a classic feel today, and there's a Miranda Lambert song called Tin Man that could have been written in 1937, right after Wizard of Oz came out. That's got classic all over it, but you got to hunt to find those.
You really do.
Just,
because they're not pushing the music, they're pushing an image.
Yeah.
And, back then you could be the ugliest guy in the world, but could sing and you got airtime.
Yeah.
Well, today, if you don't look like, what they consider country, you can have the greatest song in the world, but if you don't have that look, then you're not going to get played.
Yeah.
Like, I think just right offhand, like a guy named like Daryl Singletary, about as country as they come, but there is no way he can get radio play today. There's no way.
Right. Yeah.
And it's sad. It very is. It is very sad. And I think, what if a George Jones would come out today? What would happen?
Oh, yeah. Well, even Hank, right?
Yeah.
That's the Alan Jackson song, and Alan Jackson and
George Strait.
George Strait. Yeah, right.
There's no country music on Music Road now. So
right.
And but Seth and I are interviewing a lot of these local singers who are bringing back more traditional country music.
It's still,
and Reed Gillum, and I mean, there's a bunch of them that
Honey, right? Don't forget Honey.
Right, and they are.
Oh, and don't forget Tony Sloan, who is actually from Knott County in my area. That guy right there is going to be a superstar.
Yeah, and they're. I seen somebody, and matter of fact, I wrote it down right here. Somebody coined it the Appalachian Renaissance.
Okay.
Because it's the new. It's just. I don't remember. I was reading an article and somebody coined it, but it's a new breed of guys who are going back to the roots of country and what country, from the songwriting. And these guys are incredible songwriters. Lance Rogers is one of them. And I mean, I've listened to about 4 of his songs, and he can sing, and his singing is wonderful, but his songwriting is amazing. It is so country. Did you hear Tony
Sloan's songwriting, man?
Oh yeah. Yeah. He's another one. And so it gives me hope for the future.
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, man. But I just want to say we interviewed Tony Sloan Wednesday, and also he's headlining our virtual concert.
That's right.
August the 24th. Gotta talk about that.
That's right. Right.
And tickets are $2. $2.
Yeah, you can't beat $2 for probably a 3 or 4 hour concert.
For a 2 or 3 hour, man.
Yeah.
And you got 3 top talented guys too, like Tony Sloan is headlining, Malcolm Johnson's playing second. and then Stevie Banks is opening. And all you got to do is subscribe to Seth's Daily Podcast on Patreon for $1 a month, and subscribe to one of them guys's. Give them $1 subscription on Patreon, or pay them $1 through PayPal.
That's cheap.
$2 for a ticket.
But I mean, that gives me hope for the future of country music, because I know there at one time I almost completely quit listening to it. And it's just, it was so disheartening because every song sounds the same. All the artists look the same. You know, what would happen if Porter Wagner come out in his newbie suit, you know, today? I mean, they would laugh him off the stage, you know, and it would be a shame.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it just,
Well, there's a lot of them, you know, Hank Snow. There's a bunch of them that wouldn't cut the, yeah.
And I appreciate you kind of staying with the classic country stuff. And I love it. I love it.
Yeah, that's what I've grown up on. It's all you know, I said I don't have the lyrics memorized and I didn't know the chords much at all, but the melodies I've been singing for 50 years, right? So it's the melodies pretty much come back when you do that. Because I didn't, you know, I stayed with this music the whole time. I mean, probably into the 80s, I probably was still listening to the, you know, what was top, but not beyond that. I got to the end, mid to end 80s, and that was about it. You know, I did some on this section on Clint Black and Alan Jackson and that. So, but they were kind of the end of it for me.
Right. Yeah, I agree there was a little shot there in the early 90s where it was, you know, you had people like Mark Chestnut who were still really bringing that country vibe in, and guys like that. But right after that, steel guitars were gone, fiddles were pretty much gone. And I think a lot of it too is the resurgence of it is there is such a demand and a popularity for this new bluegrass now, which is, you know, basic, you know, where country got its roots from was bluegrass. Yeah. So, and it just thrills me to no end to see that it's almost making like a circle. And I'm hoping that we circled the stuff that we have playing now on radio completely away. Because I don't even get entertained by you know, what's on the radio. And I can, you know, in my local radio station here, which is a classic country station, is not classic country. You know, they think it's classic, but I'm like, where's Johnny Cash and where's Willie Nelson and where's all these other guys? And you know, you're playing, and not to take anything, and I know people are going to scream, but I mean, like Toby Keith. I mean, great singer, but he's not classic country to me.
Oh man, you know? Toby Keith is classic, man, for my generation. Toby Keith is the man.
For somebody that's 23, I imagine so, but
yeah, Toby Keith is the man. So, can we get another song from you, man? I know we asked you to just do two, but man, you have absolutely killed the show, man. So, we'll get another performance from you. And this can be a song that you want to do. This is
Well, you know what? I'll tell you what. Here's one. I could take a cover, or I could do an original that we wrote and tried to be in a classic spirit.
Yeah, that'd be great.
You know, it's this is a song a friend of mine and I write together. He writes the lyrics because he does some writing, short story writing and stuff. So he writes the lyrics, and then he emails me the lyrics, and I try to drop a melody on top of it. And so this one, this is a song called "What She's Done Unto Others." This is the first one we wrote, and the whole song is kind of set up on the opening line, coming right into it as a hook. She walked into the bar that night, 2 steps behind her reputation. But when her eyes met mine that night, she was preaching to the congregation. So right then and there, I offered up a prayer. Please, Lord, what she's done unto others, don't let her do unto me. What she's done unto others, don't let her do unto me. My prayers are answered for a while. She became my love, my sweet salvation. But then I saw her wondering smile, giving in to another's temptation. So right then and there, I renewed my old prayer. Please, Lord, what is done unto others, don't let her do unto me. What she's done unto others, don't let her do unto me. She's an angel and a devil, and I guess I am too. But no man deserves to have his heart torn in two. She cast me out last night, back to a lonesome isolation. And to the man she's with tonight, all I can offer is cold consolation. For him and men everywhere, I offer up this prayer. Please, Lord, don't let her do unto others what she's done unto me. Don't let her do unto others what she's done unto me. Lord, don't let her do unto others what she's done unto me.
I mean, that song drips with Don Williams. I mean, it really. You could. I mean, I could see that being played in like Every Which Way But Loose. You know, the
Right.
movie. So I mean, yeah, that's great. That's a great song.
You absolutely killed it, man. We appreciate you performing, man. You did a heck of a job. And tell us about what you got upcoming this Sunday night, and what you're on letter K now, right?
Well, I'd like to think so, but no, we're still a J. So we, because there's too many Johnnies, right? So we finish up Johnny Cash. We've got Johnny Horton. We're starting with this week. I had a couple of his last week I started with, but we'll finish him up this week. And then I went in, took a look at Johnny Lee. I didn't have any Johnny Lee stuff, and I'm probably not going to cover any of his stuff this week. But I think we'll get into ultimately some Johnny Rodriguez. He's got a bunch of songs like really nicely done songs. So, and I think I haven't finished a script. The bottom line is I haven't finished a set list yet. So here it is Monday night. I got to get on that because I should be practicing starting tomorrow. But yeah, it's one of those things where I just never know. I go down the alphabet, and there's sometimes I have artists that I don't have, that I overlooked entirely, that I didn't even have in my list. So, and I got to double check to see where it's likely to go from what we've already done. Johnny Horton, Johnny Lee. Johnny Paycheck would be before Johnny Rodriguez, I guess. So I'm sure I'll have a couple, 2 or 3 Johnny Paycheck songs at least, and then Johnny Rodriguez, and then maybe we'll get to the K's and Keith Whitley if
Man,
time serves. If it doesn't happen Sunday, it'll happen the next Sunday.
Do you know Keith Whitley's son, Jesse Keith Whitley? Have you heard him sing?
I don't think so.
He's really good, man. You should definitely check out Keith Whitley's son, Jesse Keith. He is really good, man.
Okay, good.
And yeah, Keith Whitley and gosh, Bill Monroe and Ricky Skaggs.
Yeah.
Well, those guys grew up in a town called Sandy Hook, about an hour from me, right here.
Is that right? Okay.
Yeah.
He's from Ohio. I'm from Eastern Kentucky.
All right.
I'm
Yeah.
from
No,
where
that's
Tyler Childers and Chris Stapleton's from. That's where I'm from, around that area.
well. I'm up here in the northern frozen area of Minnesota.
The land of 10,000 lakes, and they
That's
all
the one.
freeze. They all freeze in the wintertime.
we just so we can go skating.
So
Ice
what?
fishing. I never
Or ice
understood the
fishing.
concept of ice fishing. I'm not freezing to death for fish.
So
No, I
what
never.
time? My bad. What'd you say?
I never got into ice fishing either.
No.
Tried it once as a kid, and that was one and done.
That turns your fish into nuggets, and I don't want that.
So what time is your show on Sundays again? It's on
Well,
Facebook
normally-
and YouTube.
Yeah, normally it's 7:00 Central, 8 Eastern, and but this Sunday I got to push it back 1 hour to 8 Central, 9 Eastern, because I got a class reunion that people harping me to attend. So I'm going to go to that just beforehand, and then I'll get back in time to start the show at 9 Eastern this Sunday. But normally it's 8 Eastern Sundays.
And your Facebook show, and your Facebook will be in the description. It's Grant Johnson Music on Facebook. That link will be in the description. And yeah, man. And we
Classic
definitely
country A to
appreciate.
Z.
Yeah,
That's it.
we definitely
Yeah.
appreciate you coming on, man. And Tracy, what do you got upcoming within Dark Places?
Actually, August 8th, doing Here to Chew Bubblegum. Got the confirmation on that today. So that'll be out when you know how that works when they actually put that out. We'll be recording it August 8th, Sunday morning.
Yeah, that'll be on the next Sunday
Okay.
after that. And yeah, man. And of course, we got a lot of stuff upcoming here on Seth's Daily Podcast. A lot.
A lot.
We put a lot of work into this. We don't just do a weekly podcast. We do a daily podcast. That's why it's called Seth's Daily Podcast. We do podcasts about 6 days a week.
Yeah,
That's a lot.
It's a lot of work. Yeah, it really is.
We don't do one of them just little bitty, oh man, let's just do a weekly podcast. You guys that do weekly podcasts don't put in work like us, man. We out here, we grind all the time. And yeah, man, August, we definitely want to give a shout out to Grant Johnson, man. He is absolutely an amazing talent and amazing guy. And you guys should definitely check out his show.
Yep, most definitely.
And definitely come August 24th for our virtual concert. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's at 8 p.m. August the 24th, by the way. And it starts out with Stephen Banks, and it's literally $2 a ticket. And Tony Sloan headlining. And Malcolm Johnson will be playing second. And that is a heck of a lineup. And
who's singing the national anthem?
Honey Wright.
That's right. One of our favorites, Honey Wright. She'll be singing the national anthem.
Yep, Honey Wright will be singing the national anthem for the virtual concert. And we will have somebody holding prayer as well. We'll announce that later on. I'm not sure. I'm gonna try to get I'll talk to you about that, Tracy.
Okay, cool.
And yeah, man, we definitely want to give Grant a shout out for being on. And
yes, sir.
His Facebook and YouTube will be in the description. Send me a link to your YouTube, by the way.
Okay, will do.
I got your Facebook page. Yeah, that will definitely be in the description. Definitely watch the shows every Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern, but this week it's 9 p.m. Eastern on Facebook. And yeah, man, it's absolutely a good show. And I'm definitely sharing on Facebook and I'm watching.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
Excellent. Thank you so much for having me.
No problem.
Thank you for what you're doing. Thank you for what you're doing. It gives me hope.
Y'all have we definitely want to thank Grant for being on, and want to thank Tracy for co-hosting. Y'all have a good night, and God bless.